Hello, everybody. I think we're back. Apologies for anybody who experienced a slight delay to the stream process. I've had some computer issues, it would seem. So hopefully you guys can still hear me and you can still hear Noah, and we're all good. Noah, are you there?
Yeah, I think so. I can't see you though.
Ah, yes. Yes, you need to turn your video on. There we go. Professional as always. We've got everything sorted as you can expect. Right now, the screen says Dave Smithson in large letters. So we'll get everything back up and running again any second soon, I'm sure. There should be a button at the bottom now that says Start Video.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it worked fine last time, and I'm trying to press launch meeting again. Oh.
You're in the meeting. I've made it. Everyone else can hear you as well. That you do have it. Remember that everyone can hear you as well.
Yeah.
We are back again. Thanks to everybody for bearing with us while we got that sorted, and we can continue with the show. Cheers for coming back, and I appreciate you, and we'll try and get the technical difficulties figured out. So yeah, what beverage am I drinking? This is rhubarb gin and lemonade, diet lemonade with berries in. What drink have you got, Noah?
I've got some delicious water.
Delicious water is Noah's favourite drink for anyone who doesn't know him, and I asked the question already knowing the answer. Oh, it would appear that I have managed to break your video on the stream again. There we go. Everything's good. No need to worry, everybody. Nothing wrong on this stream at all. Very professional. So yeah, Noah, let's jump right back into the UK Disc Golf news where we were headed before we had a slight technical interruption. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. So yeah, UK Disc Golf news once again this week has not been a particularly busy week in the UK Disc Golf scene due to the ongoing lockdown and the ongoing advice from the BDGA to avoid the course where we can. And yeah, hopefully people have been out doing some field work. We have had a few bits of news. One thing that I forgot to mention from last week, was that Team Ace had a new member added, Matt Parslow. Believe that I didn't mention that, but I might have done. So Matt, if you're here, that's a second shout out potentially. If not, then that's a first shout out. But welcome to Team Ace, and it's exciting to see the team growing. And I'm really liking this sort of culture of professional teams in the UK. And of course, Noah, member of Team Disc Golf UK. And what are your thoughts on the growing number of teams, Noah?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. It's just making the sport so much more professional, really. And we had teams previously, but they weren't kind of as pronounced as this. It's just great, really. Such an expansion in the launch Disc Golf UK team, and now the new Ace team as well. It's looking really promising. Some great talents for the future in that team for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's really great to see. And of course, Team London Disc Golf community around as well. Catch the Spirit have some players, I think, still. There's the Glasgow lot. I'm not sure if they're officially a team or not, but they have fancy bags. I've seen their fancy bags, so I guess that counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool to see, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. Maybe in a couple of years, if you guys keep coming to the stream, we'll end up with a team Don't Shoot. I think that's unlikely, but we'll see. We'll see how the sport grows in the country. So I'm really excited to investigate all that, and of course, yeah, there's goings on in the pro scene as well. I guess that kind of is UK Disc Golf news ish, but we've got Brodie Smith signing a 2-year extension with Discraft, and I'm sure more and more pro news will roll through. I believe Prodigy signed a female player from Innova, but I'm not sure what her name is, and I don't have it to hand. So there's some movements going on, which is always exciting for me because I'm really into the pro scene, as you know.
Yeah.
In other UK Disc Golf news, in the female side, there's going to be a women's bag tag league next year. Not sure how much of this you've seen, Noah, but it's being run by Carol Finley, and it's really exciting. that there's going to be an official looking women's league. It's going to be a bag tag league. It's going to be run by Carol, like I said. Any woman who wants to play in it can. You can get your bag tag. I think it's going to be physical and virtual, I believe. And it's going to be a small sign-up fee, but you're going to get to compete with any women whenever you like in a bag tag league. I think that's really exciting. It's great to have something formalised for the ladies to take part and compete with each other casually and competitively. I can't wait to see who's number one and how many members they get.
Definitely. Yeah, it's really important part, really. Just building the kind of inclusivity of sports. It's really important to get more female players involved.
Getting told in chat by a few people, thanks to everybody, that we've got Eagle re-signing with Discmania for 3 years is the other news that I missed, and Sarah Sinclair is the new Prodigy player. So thanks to Steve and all the others for mentioning that. Carol says they've got 30 members already for their women's bag tag league, so that's
incredible.
That's really great to see. I honestly didn't know there was already 30 women players in the UK, so super excited to hear that. Really exciting news, and I can't wait to see where it goes and talk about it on the show whenever I get the chance. So, other news this week, of course, there is the International Spirit of the Game Day coming up. I'm not sure how much you've seen about this, Noah, but it's being promoted by Charlie Mead, and because we can't play tournaments like we normally would, we can't have fun, casual social events like we normally would for that day, the World Flying Disc Federation have created a disc sports scavenger hunt. There aren't that many details released about it yet, I believe, unless I'm missing any. But you can sign up to play, and you need to have 2 hours available on your own or with your family social group. And it's on December 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it should be fun. So if anyone's interested, I'm going to put the link in the chat if I can find the chat to sign up. I can't find the chat right now, so I'll put it in the YouTube chat, but that's about it. Paul asking in the chat, has the YouTube link restarted? Yes, everything restarted, Paul. We had a bit of a technical difficulty on the show, but I think we're good right now. I think we're back to being good. So thanks for everyone who's come back to watch the rest of the show. I really appreciate you all being here. There we go. Got the chat going. Paste. So yeah, there's the sign up for the International Spirit of the Game Day in the chat, which is fantastic to see. So yeah, Noah, have you seen any other goings on in the UK disc golf world this week?
I don't think so. No, I think you covered everything really. In regards to the US, the sponsorships are certainly going to be something interesting. Ezra Ardenhold, for example, and we're all eager to see where he goes. Showed a lot of promise at the end of the season. There's a lot of other players as well who are coming to the end of their contract. I think Calvin Heinberg's finishing his contract as well. Not too sure about that. There's some rumours that he might be going to DD. So
yeah, that would be certainly interesting, especially as DD seem to have dropped pretty much all of their big name players lately. So
yeah, losing Page was kind of took a big hit from that. So
yeah, it seemed like they're sort of a little bit behind the curve when it comes to sponsorships and having the official setups. I know Paige did a very candid interview where she kind of said she loves everyone at DD, but they're not professional compared to Discraft or Discmania or any of the other big names in Innova. So it'd be interesting to see that. Personally, I'd really love to see Team MVP sign Ezra. I think he already bags or throws 2 different MVP discs, which is quite an advantage they have over other players, over other signing, because a lot of players, sort of larger names in the scene, won't have ever thrown an MVP disc, so they'll obviously be somewhat hesitant to join. But Ezra already bags the Flair and the Envy, I believe. So that'd be cool to, and maybe he used to bag the Envy and currently bags the Flair. But obviously already has knowledge of the brand, so it would be interesting for them to pick up a bigger player on the MPO side, because obviously they have Sarah Hokum in the FPO side, who's one of the sort of top 5 names, but they don't have any of their sort of top 20-ish touring pros, and I expect Ezra to be in that conversation next year, even if he wasn't quite this year. And
No,
obviously, he's growing his YouTube brand as well, living his tour life. So, it'd be great to see that move. Another name in the pro scene who people might be interested in that is out of contract this year is James Conrad.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So, although you might think immediate signature back with Innova, signature putters that he throws with them, we'll see. Because I think I read an article where the person who was writing the article, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Patrick Wyman, maybe. No, that's an MMA guy. Never mind. I don't know who it was. Suggested that James Conrad was the most likely of the big names to move this offseason. So we'll have to see.
Interesting. I would have thought he would really be kind of rooted within Innova's system. I mean, the discs he throws are quite unique to Innova, especially the putters that he's so well known for.
Yeah, I'm sure he could adapt to any brand though. He's such a great player that he would find what he needed at any major manufacturer, I would think. Jamie Matthews, Paul Macbeth to Casaplas just saying, I think as much as that would be awesome, is very unlikely. In fact, impossible. I'm gonna put the impossible stamp on that one, and I know Jamie was being satirical, but wouldn't that be awesome? But yeah, Casaplas can't keep enough discs on the shelves even with their current sales right now. I mean, no brand can. So I don't think signing new big players this off season is going to be quite so important to many big brands. I know Discraft made a big move getting Paul, getting Paige the last two off seasons. I don't think they're going to need to make similar moves this year. So I guess we'll just see what happens. It'll be cool to see if any big transitions happen. We've got a question for you in chat, Noah. If you had to bag only a single brand, who would it be? It's okay not to answer if you don't want to bias any potential future sponsorships, because I know that's something you're looking at in the future. But
I just throw launch discs, of course.
There we go. Company man through and through, Noah. But yeah, that'll be really cool to see if that ever does transpire. But yeah, that's definitely cool. So I think we've covered all of the UK Disc Golf news, apart from one more plug from our sponsor, Disc Golf UK. They're getting a massive Innova order delivered this week. So by the show next week, they will have a total of 13,000 discs on the site, including some new Innova discs that we haven't had in stock all season, including the pig. So keep your eyes peeled to Disc Golf UK for the pigs that I know me and many others have been waiting for all year.
Is that the Ricky Wysocki pigs?
I don't think so. I think they're just the stock pigs. But
okay.
Still something that a lot of people love for approach discs and haven't been able to buy this year. So it's cool when we can get big things through.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to check that out. I quite like my pigs. And a shorter zone, really. So.
Yeah, it's really cool. Everybody in chat wants to know if they're getting Halo Destroyers. I don't know the answer, but maybe Dan is around that might know. Not sure. I think that one's probably unlikely if I had to guess, but I know that they have started to make their way over to Europe, so we'll see. We got a couple of people asking about Noah's favourite Disc Golf UK discs and what he likes about the launch discs. We'll get onto that soon, I believe, when we get to the Desert Island Disc segment of the show. And yeah, I think that's all of the UK Disc Golf news for this week. So we can move on to the next topic of the show. Sorry, obviously with the stream needing to be restarted, I have to redo all of my graphics mid-show. So we're having a little bit of an interesting time, but we're making it work. Yeah, we got confirmation in chat there aren't going to be any Halos this time, but hopefully we'll get them at some point.
That'd be great to see them come in. Such a popular disc.
Yeah, and they look cool, but I'm not 100% sold on them. So no, I think they look alright, but I prefer just the standard swells. I'm a swirl person. I'm not really a big burst person, which is weird as well because of all the MVP I throw, and they do a really good burst disc. But yeah, I'm a sucker for the swirls.
Yeah, no, I really like the swirls too. To be fair.
Yeah, this is something you won't catch me saying very often in public, but I think Discraft and Prodigy's swirls are the best looking swirly swirls. And
really impressive.
Yeah, they do some great swirls, and I know Streamline discs. There you go. Back to my usual shilling of brands no one else has ever thrown, but Streamline discs have got some great swirls on them as well. Got some I could show, but they're all in the car. Speaking of discs, I got my Infinite Discs starter pack from Infinite Discs Tater Pack this week through. So I've been throwing some new stuff. I've been throwing my Exodus, which is really cool, and I got it in 2 different plastics. I got it in Swirly S-Line Tour Series plastic, which is obviously great feeling Innova Disc plastic, and also the iBlend, which I really wanted to try because it's a plastic made by Innova that isn't any of their stock plastics. Have you ever come across iBlend?
I thought that was the Pro.
It's a hybrid between Pro and Star.
Okay.
So it's like half Pro, half Star, which feels quite cool.
Nice. Yeah, no, I would have thought that would have been a really popular disc. Yeah, that's kind of Star feel with a bit more tackiness to it.
Yeah, a bit tackier, a bit softer. My one's quite popped up, like it's quite a domey, and it's a little bit more understable than the Swirly S Blend Exodus. And yeah, pretty cool discs. I like them. So we'll see if they make the bag.
What's the flight numbers on the Exodus?
So the Exodus is an Eagle L. So it's the less stable Eagle mold.
I'll have to check that out actually. I've been looking for Eagle L's, yeah. Is that kind of similar to the ones that Barsby throws and Big Germ?
Not the one Barsby throws the other Eagles. I think it's similar to the ones that Calvin Heimberg throws, though. I think he throws Eagle L's. So, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Innova, in all their disc manufacturing wisdom, decided to make the same disc with 2 different molds that fly completely differently. So, there's the Eagle X and the Eagle L. If you just buy an Eagle on the website, that's going to be an Eagle X. But I believe they now sold the Eagle L mold to Infinite, and they make the Exodus with that. So if that's incorrect information, apologies. I'm not an expert on Innova Discs manufacturing or anything. They're not my usual brand of choice, but I believe that to be the case. So I'm sure someone will let me know in chat if I am incorrect. But yeah, that's been a cool disc I've been trying, and I haven't got yet to try this disc yet. The other disc that I got that I think looks amazing is here we go. I don't know how well that's coming through on camera, but you get this cool triple foil stamp. This is a Thought Space Athleticsimus. So this is a speed 10. It's overstable-ish driver. I think the most comparable disc is supposed to be the PD by Discmania. I haven't thrown it yet, so I don't know. But this is in there. I do not know the name of what Thought Space Athletics are calling their plastics, but they're manufactured by MVP, I believe. So this is like MVP's plasma, and yeah, they sell these on Disc Golf UK now. Who would have known it? So yeah, Animus.
Really nice stamp on it. So.
Yeah, I think that's what Thought Space Athletics really are about, the stamps, right? So they've got the triple foil, they've got the cool designs of the snake with the harp, and is it a harp or is it just a triangle? I'm not sure. But anyway, they make really cool discs, and they're pretty, so I ordered one. And I very much appreciate the fact that we can get them in this country now. So keep checking out our sponsor. That's enough plugs, I think, for everybody, apart from the giveaway, which we will do in 15 minutes. So, no, I'll give you the choice of the next thing we want to talk about. We've got 2 things. We've got the Noah Smithson Desert Island Discs, and we've got our topic, which is going to be about how we can get more touring pros to travel to the UK and what course adjustments we would need to make them better for higher rated players.
Okay, I'm happy to go with Desert Island Discs.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And I know, guys, that I've been saying we're going to get the Desert Island Discs on Instagram every week, and they haven't been going on Instagram. and I don't know how many of you check my Instagram, but this week they're actually going to go on the Instagram, and I'm going to do it myself, so it's going to happen. There was some confusion with Amy doing the socials, because she is currently taking a break from social media. I, in my infinite wisdom, completely blanked on that, so I was assuming she was doing it. I suck at Instagram. I'm sorry, we'll get it sorted this week. Boom, Desert Island Discs. And of course, once again, camera is perfect. Noah, what have you got for us?
Okay, I'll start with the putter. Obviously, going to go with lander here. This is just one I just pulled out of my bag. This was actually the first lander I received, so it's quite lightweight. This one, it's just an example, really. This isn't the main one I throw. I just really love this disc. Started using this disc again kind of recently, coming into October. I'm just really liking it throwing. It just goes so incredibly far. It's got so much glide to it. It's a really useful disc. I mean, really, it's taking kind of mid-range spot in my back. So, yeah, super versatile, this disc.
Can you hold it up to the camera, please, Noah, so we can get a look at it. There we go. So this is Launch Disc Golf Lander. For anyone who hasn't thrown one, their flight numbers. Do you want to approximate what you think they fly like now?
I would say it's probably a 3.5 minus 0.52, probably.
Yeah.
Very straight. If you throw it hard, I mean, very neutral disc for everyone, really.
Yeah, they're pretty great throwing putters. You can get them to go a long way, and a lot of people are really liking putting with them as well. So
yeah.
I really wanted to putt with them. For me, they're a tiny bit too overstable for my personal preferences. I quite like flippy putters. So they haven't quite taken that, but I do use them for putting in windier situations and for longer putts that I want to put on Anheuser. So I really like, for sort of 15, 16 meter jump putts, being able to release on Anheuser and have it kind of come out of it. And I think the Landers, they're really great disc for that. So yeah, that's the Lander. Anyone interested in getting their hands on one, there's Don't Shoot stamped ones on the site still. Noah will be getting a Signature Series Lander, I believe, in the next month or so. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it should be the new year. It should be coming out.
There we go. And so yeah, check out them on the website, and we'll be doing a giveaway for one of the Don't Shoot Landers in about 10 minutes time. So yeah, no, moving on to your mid-range.
Yeah, following the controversial theme, we're going with a zone. I mean, we can debate if it's really a mid-range or not, but I kind of felt like I had to put these discs in my selection, so I went with this. This is a really great disc. It was given to me by Steve Cornmuller at Essex last year, and I didn't actually throw it for about 8 months, and then I just picked it up in February, just looking for an oversaver disc, and just really fell in love with it. It's so great. Beat it in enough now that it's quite straight, quite versatile. Just a really great thrower, really good forehand. It's got such a it's a very shallow disc. Very flat on top as well. I mean, this one's almost pedal topped, so it's just great for everything. Approaches, short drives. Yeah. Need to get some more, really. They're just so hard to find.
Yeah, well, I think there's still Get Free keys available around the place, so you could probably end up with one of those in your hands if you're interested in a crystal flex zone.
I think they might be a little bit too soft for me. I quite like firm discs, and tried a flex before, and they've been really gummy, so really good for winter, but not really what I was looking for.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's the zone. Anybody interested? I think the flight numbers are 4303. Made by Discraft, obviously, and one of the more popular discs on Desert Island Discs. I think you're the 4th zone person, so if we had a chart, which we definitely should have a chart, then the zone would be high up on the chart.
Yeah. Alright, I'll move on to my driver then.
Yeah, let's see it.
This is the Star Roadrunner.
There you go.
I mean, I was having a bit of difficulty deciding on my driver. It wasn't quite as easy a decision. But I went with this one. I love throwing it. It's really great for scrambling, kind of pattern pending position. You can still get flip ups with it. And I just love throwing it for rollers. That's its main use for me. Anyone who plays with me knows I really like throwing rollers. Just trying to get creative wherever I can. Just try and save that birdie. And this is just a great disc for it. It just flips up, but it holds it still. It's not too understable that it just burns out straight away. great disc, really. Try out a Roadrunner. Get it in Champion as well. It's really good because it's quite a bit more stable. It's just ideal for those kind of late flip-ups.
Yep, and for anyone who's a newer player looking to get one of their first drivers, Roadrunner's a pretty good choice, I think. It'll be not a lot of Speed 9 discs when you step up to them for the first time will sort of hyzer out for newer players, whereas the Roadrunner's got a bit less stability, so it will be a very straight flying disc for a newer player.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for sharing those, Noah. I'm gonna assume that you haven't had time to throw either of the discs I sent you to review yet.
Not yet. I've felt them quite a bit. They're really nice. I can't wait to throw them, really. Especially the oh my gosh, I forgot which the flippy fairway driver.
Drift.
I know it's the flare is the overstable one.
Yeah.
The,
Drift. Streamline drift.
of course. Yeah. I think that could be quite nice for forehand flip ups actually.
Yeah.
That one's also a really shallow disc. It's very flat on.
Yeah, there are some really flat ones. I know the one I sent you is really flat, and I've got one other really flat one. And yeah, for me they're surprisingly stable. I was throwing my max weight one today and getting quite a lot of overlap with the Exodus. So
okay, that's interesting.
The one you've got isn't max weight, so it definitely won't be overstable or anything, but it should be sort of hyzer flip to flat rather than ridiculous turnover.
Okay.
Really, really great discs. I would recommend checking them out. So, Noah, aside from the Lander, favourite launch / disc golf UK disc?
Probably the cipher.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, this is kind of working into my bag. The Lander's got a permanent place in my bag right now. The cipher's kind of a bit contentious, but it's another great disc. Very similar, really, to the Drift actually. I think it says it's an overstable disc, but I think it's slightly flippier than it claimed. But it's a really ideal disc. It's great for beginners, great for stronger players who want to have that kind of flip up shape, but with still some fade to it. So it's great.
I think right here you're hearing the difference in arm speed between Noah and myself, because for me it's fairly stable. So, but yeah, it's a cool disc. It's the first mass release premium plastic disc, I believe, from
yeah.
guys. And I tell you what, I don't have a good forehand, but I really like the cipher for forehands. I find it's a fantastic. It's the rim is really nice for my forehand grip. So it may make my bag one day for forehands if I ever get a forehand good enough that it's worth putting things in my bag for it. That day is far away. If anyone's ever played with me, they'll know how I spend the entire round saying that my forehand is awful, and then throw one really good forehand approach, and then everyone's like, "Your forehand's great, Harry. What are you talking about?" And then they'll see me actually try and throw a forehand, and it will be awful as pre-described. But yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, me and Noah pretty much learned playing disc golf together. We played a lot of rounds in our first few years of disc golf, didn't we?
Yeah, lots of circuits around that red course at QP, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It was, I think, in fact, no, it's still my most played with person on UDisc. If you track the stats, I'm
pretty sure you've been mine as well.
So we've got lots of rounds together, so we know each other's game quite well. And for me, it was equal parts amazing and awful watching Noah accelerate away from me, because we were similar abilities at the start. So. We used to somewhat compete, and then at this point Noah gives me 10-stroke handicap and still beats me most of the time. So Noah's really put the work in, especially with the putting, and it's great to see. Really great to see. So yeah, we've got one more topic to cover after we do a giveaway. So shall we do a giveaway?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, we're going to be giving away a launch disc golf Lander. We've talked it up enough this show. I feel like we should probably give one away. We've got one with the Don't Shoot artwork right here. For anyone who hasn't seen this yet, these are available for only £12 plus shipping on the Disc Golf UK website, or directly from me if you want one from me. Support the show. Money from this money from sales of this disc go directly to me, so it's amazing for you guys who do. They pay for stuff like the Streamlabs Premium. They pay for me to be able to do more cool things like get this artwork professionally made by the best disc golf artist in the world, potentially, debatably, John Dawn. So check them out and try and win one right now. So how are we going to do the giveaway today, Noah? I like to put my guests on the spot and sometimes ask them.
Yeah, I should have thought about this. I'm not too sure.
I think that today's giveaway question is going to be whoever asks the best question in chat for Noah. So ask a question in the chat. If I think it's the best question, I'm going to ask Noah one of the questions, and that's going to be the winner. There's no limitations on who can win. Even if you've won a previous giveaway, you can win this week, because I realise we've got a similar number of viewers to the show now as people who've previously won a giveaway. Now we're on episode 33, so pretty much everyone has won at this point, which is fantastic. I love being able to give this out to you guys, so thank you to my sponsors for allowing that to happen. Dan in chat saying name Noah's lander. We had a bit of a quiz about what we should name Noah's lander the other day, actually, on the show, and we had some very funny biblical suggestions to do with the ark. So I hope we end up going with some kind of biblical theme for that, because it sounds quite funny. So we've got some questions rolling in already. I'm looking forward to finding out a little bit more. So yeah, let's give people 5 minutes to answer these questions, and we'll talk about our final topic now, which is so as one of the higher rated players in the UK, I think you can quite accurately speak to this. What do you think needs to happen to UK courses to make them more interesting to the higher rated players? To people in Europe who are 980 to 1020, what do you think needs to change about UK courses to make them more attractive to those people coming over?
They just need to be harder. I think that's kind of the fundamental thing that needs to change. We've got a lot of soft par fours in the UK. I think this is kind of where our main issue is at, really. We need to scrap these par fours, I think. I really like having par fours and fives, don't get me wrong, but we can't give these kind of 130 metre par fours, and they're just easy pickup birdies for anyone kind of 950 plus. Yeah, I mean, I think they should be hardest holes on the course, really. I think you should have to be throwing a 300-foot, 350-foot shot, and then follow it up with another accurate 350-foot shot if you want to get the birdie. Yeah, I think that's my main point, I'd say. I also just want to see courses get a little bit longer, less putter throws off the tee. I think with the UK at the moment, we've got a lot of beginner players, we've got a lot of amateurs, so the way course design is kind of focused is really good. It's really great getting lots of different people in. But if we want to attract the bigger crowds from the US, I don't think the kind of easy red, white style kind of course is the solution, really.
No, I think that's accurate, and I think it's quite a hard balance to strike between making sure that a course is fun and rewarding for the regular players, as well as expanding correctly to cater the growing amount of players who are sort of throwing 300-foot plus shots regularly, throwing even 400-foot shots. There's not that many holes in the UK which really call for a 400-foot drive. So I think it's historically limited the progression of distance throwers in the UK. I know we've got some great distance throwers, but I think compared to some of the courses in, say, Texas or Arkansas or the traditional long courses in the US, there's not really much need to develop that skill here. You're going to benefit far more from throwing an accurate 300-foot shot than working on that extra distance to get 400-foot plus. So it would be cool to see more holes demand that. And I think what Carol's saying in chat is the crux of the problem. Land is the problem in the UK. We have very dense built up land, especially near metro centres. There's no big sprawling public parks in every city like you'll find in the States. There's no huge nature spots near literally every town in the entire country like in Finland. We don't really have the same infrastructure to put that kind of course in, because if there's open land and it's useful to and passable terrain, then it's most likely going to be agricultural or a domestic land. So it's quite a challenge to find accurate and easy to use land in the UK. But I think the other thing Carol said, which is unless we get on ball golf courses, might be the answer. What would your thoughts be on trying to get more courses installed on ball golf courses?
I think it's a good solution, really. I think not all golf courses are suited for disc golf courses, but those that are potentially a bit tighter. Because I think the really important thing is to have the trees. I'm not a fan of artificial OB. Just for me, spring separation is completely skewed, and you just get penalised far too much for mistakes. But if you can get a golf course with lots of trees, I think it's a great solution, because golf courses are declining as we speak, and disc golf is kind of booming. So it's a great chance to take opportunity.
Yeah, I really hope it's something that can happen. And I think one of the things that we need to embrace as a disc golf community, especially in the UK, for that to be realistic, is the idea of pay to play. I think the sport naturally attracts people who are biased against pay to play, and I think the sport in Finland and the US doesn't have the same obstacles we do, in that land isn't at such a premium. So I think likely we're going to have to, as a community, if we want to play on golf courses, understand that there's going to be probably a cost associated with that. I think the jump between the two might have to be something that is compromised on at some point, especially by the golf clubs, because the average disc golfer isn't going to be paying £2,000 a year membership like the average golf membership costs. It's just not. We're just not that kind of community. And I think if you charge that, you're going to get one member or zero members at the moment, the way the game is. But also, I think that's something we need in order to grow. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think just even if the pay-to-play cost is really low, it's just really important. It's not quite the same kind of, I don't know, kind of attitudes towards free golf here in the UK. I think actually if people see that there's kind of infrastructure set up, that you're paying, they're expecting a better experience, and they're much more likely to approach you. I think this is kind of the key thing. And free courses are great, but without kind of a club set already there, it's quite hard to really build it up. So get some growth.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true, and I think it's something that often in the UK, I think people are actually kind of want to pay for things. I think it's part of our sort of kind of politeness culture. We feel like we're doing something wrong if something's free. Quite often, I know you can just see from the popularity of National Trust parks. People want to go somewhere that they're a member, that they know they're allowed to go, rather than the alternative of literally using any of the public footpaths in the entire country and seeing equally pretty places. We want to be taken on a path that we're paying to maintain and enjoy that. So I think that in the end will translate into disc golf as well. And I'd really love to see more things like Quarry Park emerge, because I think Derek's proving that there is a business model for disc golf in the UK. I think obviously Seamus in Scotland at Reboot is proving it as well. And I think that there is starting to be a limited market in the UK for, say, 3 to 5 other people to set up on, say, disused council golf courses that they can lease, set up in the land of a National Trust park or a Forestry England park, restricted entry, pay to play, a few amenities like being able to get a coffee. I know that would bring out many more people who aren't currently part of disc golf. I think that's a really great way to try and get people into the sport in a way. I think having a place where you're a member of does bring in more people. Just look at how many people have gym memberships. I think it's definitely it sort of sounds counterproductive. Charging will get more people to play, but I think it might actually work. So I'd really love to see there be the option of both. Obviously, I'm not saying get rid of the free courses, because they're fantastic and they do get people. Just look at Manchester; it's free to play, and we get hundreds of people a weekend at the course. even without much promotion, you just have people showing up with their family. So I think there's an argument both ways, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. And I personally would be perfectly happy to pay to play for a course if there was a course with good facilities near me.
Definitely.
For sure. Right, Noah, let's pick a winner for this giveaway, and we'll wrap up the show after we've done it. So there's been some absolutely fantastic questions, which I appreciate you all for. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pick the winner, and then I might ask you another one as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to go for this one as my favourite, just because it's about me, and my ego doesn't let me not ask this one. So Paul Waldron is the winner of the giveaway, and we'll get the lander shipped out to you, Paul. As you have played with Harry so many times, what incident has made you laugh the most during a round with him? Is the question. So I'll give you a minute to think of an answer, and while you're doing so, I'll say thank you to everybody for all the questions. Thanks for showing up for the stream. Thanks for dealing with the technical difficulties, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what Noah's answer to this question is. But I want to thank Noah for coming on. I want to thank all the sponsors for making it happen, and hopefully we'll have Noah back again in the future, because I'm sure he's been a very popular guest. I know I've had a great time talking to him.
Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Have you thought of a moment?
I'm struggling to kind of put my finger on one moment. Certainly, the incident at Ashton Court was something spectacular.
Go on then, tell that story. We'll count that one.
Well, I wasn't actually on your card, but I knew what happened. That's for sure. Well, I think it's fair to say your trousers split quite badly.
Yeah, split is
a gaping hole in the crotch area.
Yeah, split is a slight understatement, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, it wasn't the most pleasant, but it was good fun.
Yeah, there was a trouser malfunction, putting warming up for the tournament. So so day one was had to play with significant rip in the trousers. Significant being really there were not much trousers left, if I'm honest. But yeah, that was from the Harry straddle putt era. I thought I was Kevin Jones before Kevin Jones thought he was Kevin Jones, and it turns out I wasn't. Who'd have thought it? But yeah, I would say that was one of my funniest ones. So we'll let Noah off with that answer, even if he technically wasn't there.
Ollie came up with a good point, actually. I think that's probably better when you fell through the podium, Croydon.
That was pretty.
That was pretty spectacular too.
Pretty spectacular. It was pretty spectacular. Jamie and Shane going for the Litchfield slip. That one down in there.
I don't even remember.
You were definitely there, but
okay, yeah. Was it December last year?
It was. I'm glad you don't remember, because that was slightly humiliating as well. But I was just talking about how much my back hurt, and I went to throw my drive, and I slipped into the biggest puddle of mud I've ever seen in my life. I was caked head to toe in mud, and then we went for a meal at a really quite nice restaurant. So I'm sure they appreciated my muddiness. So yeah, I think that's it. Let's read a couple of the other questions. You don't have to give proper answers to them, Noah, but we've got who is the best player you've managed to beat in a competition?
I don't know.
Just say James Luton so that he'll come back on the show another time.
James Luton's not a good player though.
Savage. We've got, if Louis dedicated as much time to disc golf as Noah, would he beat you?
No way.
Second question, can you guess who asked that question?
I know, it was Del.
There you go. And finally, what bag do you use?
Fun?
What bag do you use?
Oh, I use the Discmania Grip VX. Right.
There you go. And that bag comes highly recommended. And if anyone doesn't mind paying US shipping on those bags, I know they're quite expensive for US shipping, but they are going to be having a Black Friday sale, as they do every year. And last year's Black Friday sale prices were ridiculous. So if they're anything like that, then I would recommend checking out the checking it out. I think if the prices are the same as last year, even with shipping from the US, it will still be cheaper than buying from Europe. So check that out if you're interested in a grip bag. And thank you everyone for coming to the show. Sorry for the tech difficulties. We'll get them figured out for next week if I can figure out what was wrong, which I can't, but we'll see what we can do. Thanks to Noah for coming on. Thanks to everyone for hanging out in chat, and we will see you next week with another episode of the podcast.
Thanks. See you later.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.